building a great team is really what your job is also. And if you don't do it, you're dead. You're only as good as the team you put together. Now, the way you do this is by finding people internally that you've got a pretty good handle on and supplementing it with external hires. Now, external hiring is really hard. Internally, it's difficult. Externally, it's brutal. And you've got to recognize that, I guess, taking my own example that you might find helpful, is I probably got it right half the time in my early days. And by the time I retired 40 years later, I was up to 75 to 80% right. Hiring is the toughest thing you do because you never know how far somebody can go, what they'll look like in the next job after the first job. So what you've got to do when you hire is have self-confidence enough to say, whoops, I got it wrong. And that most people can't do that. They get scared because it reflects on them that they hired somebody and they'll do the work of the person they brought in. And that's a common pitfall. So I don't want you ever, when you make a mistake on hiring, face into it. Now, face into it in a way that's morally correct. You made the mistake. You brought the person in. You love him as much on the way out as you loved him on the way in. When you were selling him on the job and offering him this and that, now take care of him with severance. Make the severance very good because you disrupted their lives. You brought them in. You own that mistake. Don't cover it up and then leave them in the organization to wilt and die as lepers as you walk away from them. Face into it, bring them in, and then treat them with every ounce of dignity. Time to look for a job. We made a mistake together. I'll give you plenty of severance pay. It's the cheapest money you'll ever spend because it's the right money to spend. And so building a team takes a lot of time. You got the appraisal system, the differentiation. That's going to give you an ability to build from within. But then you'll want to supplement. And when you supplement from the outside, recognize that you won't be the first person that ever hired somebody bad. Hopefully you'll get it right. Hopefully you'll get it right a lot more than you get it wrong. If you get it right, it's easy. It's on when you got a great team. But getting it wrong is the mistake I see people make most often. And they cover it up. And they try to do it themselves. And everybody gets wounded. You for hiring somebody that can't do the job, and them for being stuck in a bad spot. You know, one of the things I want to make clear as you go outside to hire, be sure you check references. As many as you can. And don't make that reference call that says, I'm thinking about hiring Joe Jones. Is Joe good? And then hopefully Joe, yes, he's good, and you hang up because you get it over with, you can say, I got a reference. Ask the questions, probe, and listen. If they say, well, Joe was okay here, and they're trying to sense it, and be willing to say, damn it, Joe wasn't as good as I thought he was. I get more calls from people who can't stand the possibility that they're going to get an answer from me that doesn't support their hiring decision. So they got the phone about this far away going, do you like him? And please say yes, please say yes, and then they want to hang up. You don't let that be you. You be the detective when you're hiring. You get in and ask every question. And don't go to the references they just tell you about. Go to other ones. So be sure that you really, that's the best chance to get above the 75% hit rate.